Another item that I really like that costs less than $100. So hello and welcome to Aftersound Review, and this is my review for the EPZ Q5. Well, previously I have reviewed some of the EPZ IMs like the K5 or the K1, but currently this is my favorite EPZ, even though this is not the most expensive one. This one, the EPZ Q5, costs only around $50 and using a single dynamic driver. And just like usual, I will break down this review from the build, fit, frequency response, sound, and comparison. Before going deeper into the review, I need to share my appreciation with this unboxing experience. Let me show you. This is the outer layer of the box itself, and this is the box. It's quite unique. It has a crease on the middle here, and if you remove the sticker, you will get this presentation, which I consider to be really exotic, and it's just really cool. You cannot pull this off. You cannot. It's just, yeah, it's just really cool presentation for unboxing IM. Not gonna lie, the way this IM looks is really cool, but it definitely reminds me of the Meze Atvar at much higher price point. That being said, it's smaller, and I have touched the Meze Atvar myself. It's definitely bigger and made of a more metallic material, while this one is using all resin. And even though it has some kind of vent hole you might see here, but it doesn't have, I think it's mostly accessories because I don't really feel that open back sensation from this IM. And it's using MMCX connector with really good flexible silver cable here. It's really lightweight and flexible. Simply say, for me, this IM have a perfect ergonomic. Let me show you here. It really fits greatly in my ears, and even the ear gauge just fit my ears amazingly. And like I said, the cable itself is non-microphonics, and it's also really lightweight and flexible. Its tonality can be described as simply V-shaped, with the emphasis mostly on the bass area, and after that upper mid-range to treble area. And this is the kind of V-shape that I really enjoy. It has a really good kind of bass that I personally really like. It's the bass that can go deep, it can go rumbling down there, but it also have a really good punch and texture on it. But don't expect a lot of mid bass on it, because it doesn't have that kind of thick mid bassy sound. No, it's a really well controlled deep bass that will, personally for me, it really suitable for a lot of music, even EDMs, pops, rocks, or even acoustic music. It will give you this kind of subtle rumbling down there with good punch and texture. But I wouldn't recommend this for bass set, I think, because it doesn't have this kind of bold and thickness on the bass area. Nevertheless, I really enjoy the performance of the bass of this IM. It also favors more on the upper mid-range rather than lower mid-range, so it does emphasize some upper human voices compared to the lower ones, that making female or simply thin male could sound more forward, and it's not really a thick sounding IM. So if you are listening to some of the thick male or female vocalists like the Josh Groban, Michael Bublé, you will lose a little bit of thickness, a little bit of mid in the mid-range. But that being said, the mid-range is really clear and forward, and also I would say it's expressive. But at the same time, it can be also a little bit aggressive for some people. But personally, for me, this is like the age of my tolerance level. So people have their own tolerance level, and for me, this is like at the age, just a little bit more, and it can be a little bit more too aggressive for me, too shouty for me, but it's just like on the end. But nevertheless, still, this is maybe not for everyone, because it's still a little bit on the aggressive side, I would say. But if you ask me, I personally really enjoy this mid-range performance. Hearing female vocals sounds really clear. Hearing guitar and piano are really clear with good timbre. The treble is also a little bit aggressive, I would say. It's a forward treble, so you will hear some cymbals and percussion up there. Sounds kind of vibrant, but also somehow still natural for me. The extension is quite good. If you're hearing air from the flutes, you can hear some shimmering percussion up there. So basically, I really like the performance of the treble from this IM. But that being said, if you are listening to some harshly recorded music, this will show. This will kind of emphasize some of the harshness from the music that makes some recordings definitely sounds kind of harsh. So as an overall tonality, this IM can be categorized as fun, forward, but also a little bit on the aggressive side. Personally, I really enjoy this kind of sound, but I know that this might not for everyone. It can be a little bit too aggressive for some, especially if you like the blonde Z300 kind of sound or 3-point piccolo kind of sound. Will not be for you. This is a little bit on the thinner side and a little bit aggressive, but for me it's really fun with that forwardness in the upper mid-range and treble, and accompanied that with the sub-bass performance on it. I can really say I really enjoy this IM. Technical wise, it's also really good. I mean, it's not the PR2 good. The PR2 is still untouchable at this price point, but it's on the same level as one of my favorite IM for $100, like the SIMGOT EW200. It has a really good resolution, the detail level, the clarity of each notes, you can feel that. Also, the impacts from the every notes can be felt clearly, and with additional good soundstage and depth. So it's not the most three-dimensional soundstage that I have ever heard at this price point, but it has a somehow realistic three-dimensional imaging on it. So imagine just a medium-sized ball. That's what I feel from this IM. I can hear through some movie soundtracks or some Hans Zimmer's music from this IM, and I can say I really enjoy the performance. Now the big question, how is it compared to the SIMGOT EW200? Well, like I said, in terms of overall technical level, I would say both of them are on a similar level. The most difference happened with its tonality. The tonality of the EW200 can be also described as somehow aggressive too, with its forward upper mid-range. But if you compare the EW200 to this EPZ Q5, the EPZ Q5 sounds a little bit more aggressive, especially in the upper mid-range to lower treble area, making this IM sounds more fierce with better bite, especially when you are hearing some rock or metal music. You might expect or you might want to feel the fierceness of the song. I think this EPZ Q5 is more suitable for those kind of tracks. But personally, if you ask me for vocal sound or for some pop music that needs more smoother mid-range, I would prefer the EW200. So it definitely backs to what do you hear and your tolerance level, also what kind of genre of music that you hear. Now comparing the EPZ Q5 with one of the cult favorite, the Aegis on Heart Mirror Zero, I would say that if you are certainly looking for vocal only, especially a really sweet but also kind of thin vocal, I would say that the Aegis on Heart Mirror is simply unbeatable at this price point. But if you are looking for something that is more all-rounder, I would say, with more sub-bass presence and also more treble presence and more exciting experience, I think that this EPZ Q5 is better for that. So, but if you ask me personally which one that I like better, I still like the EPZ Q5 better, since I'm more of a V-shaped guy rather than a vocal kind of guy. So at the end, can I recommend this IM to you? Well, the answer is simply yes. The EPZ Q5 is a V-shaped, energetic, really fun kind of IM with good resolution for its price point. But please note that this IM is on a little bit aggressive side, so maybe not a lot of you could handle this kind of aggressiveness, but personally, I really enjoy this. So that's all I could say about this IM. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.